suggest this goes all the way to Australia. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we're finding one tonight. Put your hands together for Mr. Dom Trant!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
I looked up the definition of shit in the Oxford Dictionary and found a picture of the Cambridge Dictionary. I once boasted before a boxing match that I'd let my fists do the talking. During the fight, it turned out that my face did a lot of listening. Sometimes I'll be out on a date with a woman and things are going great, so I'll ask her back to my place for some coffee, but she'll always say no. I think it's because when I say coffee, I actually go coffee. In the song, Old MacDonald's animals are only ever mentioned in past tense, which makes me suspect that farm is a euphemism for abattoir. When I was a kid, I woke up one morning and found a horse's head on my pillow, and I thought, fuck, what's up with the tooth fairy? The most painful way to find out no one likes you is stage diving. I hired a private investigator to follow my wife around. That way, I'll know where both of them are while I'm cheating with his wife. I do everything that the Bible condemns. I figure if Jesus died for my sins, I owe it to him to get value for money. They say even a broken clock is right twice a day, and it's at those times that I try to sell my broken clock. When I was a kid, my mum used to spank me a lot with the wooden spoon, which probably explains why her cakes always tasted like arse. Whenever people ask me for advice on behalf of a friend of a friend, of a friend of a friend, of a friend, I assume they're asking for Kevin Bacon. I hate it when I open up a packet of crisps and find there's mostly air inside. I reckon it'd only be fair if the person responsible for this were to crash their car and find the airbag was full of crisps. Red Bull sponsored the guy who fell to earth all the way from space. This gives me the impression that Red Bull gives you wings that don't work. Pass the parcel would work better if there were no prize. That way, one kid is disappointed, but everyone else is happy. I'm in trouble with the law. Apparently, you can't christen babies the same way you christen ships. So, you know when you get your hair cut and the guy holds up a mirror behind you so you can see the back of your head. I wish I could get that sort of help every time I wipe my ass. That's real childish, but I Oops, excuse me. Sometimes, when I'm at swingers parties, I feel like eavesdropping on conversations, but I don't want to look suspicious. So I stand around and wank. The other day, I smothered a guy to death. Now the look that he had on his face when he died is permanently imprinted in my memory foam pillow. Two homeless guys started making out in front of me, but I thought I'd sound harsh if I told them to get a room. I answered a personals ad from a woman who claimed to have a body built for sin. It turns out that sin was gluttony. After my grandma died, I recorded an acoustic album in her memory. It was titled Life Support Unplugged. Asparagus makes my piss smell funny, and vice versa. Now, you may or may not know that when a man dies by hanging, he'll sometimes bring a massive stiffy. Has anybody read this? No? Well, the scientific explanation for it is when you hang a man, you can sometimes damage the spinal cord in such a way that causes an erection. But I prefer to believe in a supernatural explanation, which is whenever an innocent man is hanged, he'll get a boner, which points at the real murderer. I auditioned for a part in the remake of Scream, and the casting director said to me, "Don't call us, we'll call you." So I waited for weeks and weeks and heard nothing. I thought, fuck this. So I called him from inside his house, armed with a big knife. If you don't know what a glory hole is, don't look into it. Why do so many Boy Scouts get molested when their motto says, "Be prepared"? Sometimes, when I'm watching porn, I see ads which say there are women in my area who want to fuck me. This makes me feel even more hopeless for not being able to find them. The other day, I was running for a bus, but the bus closed its doors and took off. As soon as it did, it hit someone and had to stop again. Now, I have to admit that my first thought when this happened was, good, now I can catch the bus. But then I started feeling guilty because the victim was someone that I just pushed out of my way. I once asked a girl, "What's a girl like you doing in a place like this?" She laughed and said, "That's a really bad pickup line." So to save face, I told her that I was actually being racist. Other than that, thank you.